Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Scott Brown, and I'd like to welcome you to the interactive virtual webinar sponsored by Project Made Easy in partnership with Microsoft. The title of today's session is Turbocharge Your Project Management with Microsoft Project and Excel. I did want to point out a couple of things. Number one, we are recording this. So the meeting is being recorded. We will make the recording available. We'll probably get links out to everybody by the end of the week for sure. So you'll have that. And then I've got a presentation here. We'll try to provide everyone a PDF copy of that as well. What I'd like to do is just begin by sort of walking us through the agenda. So basically today we're going to do a little introduction, tell you a little bit more about our firm, Project Made Easy. I've got a presentation that will sort of set the stage, if you will, about what we're going to talk about today. And then we'll jump in to a live demonstration of some of the features I want to highlight of Project working with Excel. And then we'll allow some time for some Q&A. There will be a couple times where I'll call for questions. I would encourage you to use the chat. Chat should be available, and submit your questions that way, just to kind of help us manage the. We've got someone watching the chat while we go through the presentation today. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into our session. We've got an hour together. We should have plenty of time to go through everything. If we do run long, I may skip a slide or two toward the end there, just in case folks are not have a lot of questions, that type of thing. So let's jump ahead here. So a little bit about our firm. We are Project Made Easy. We are a Microsoft partner. We are been a Microsoft partner since 2009. We've been around since 2007. We've done well over 250 implementations, and we have experience both in Microsoft Project, Power Platform, and Power BI. You will see all three of those in play today. Our certifications in the Microsoft space are around project and portfolio management. We're gold certified there. Cloud productivity, we're gold certified there. And then we also have silver certification in application development. And so that's kind of our bread and butter we bring to the table there. We're also partners with other Microsoft partners, OnePlan and Fluent Pro. We do implementations, so we'll do deployment, enhancement, and training of the Microsoft platform for any number of users. It could be as small as 30 users. We've even done smaller, or as large as an enterprise-wide type of deployment around 5,000 users. We do also do training, and oftentimes we get brought in by our customers to just deliver training. We may not have done the deployment there, but they just want to get a refresher on Microsoft Project, or want to get a refresher on kind of some of the basics on how to use the solution. We are also Small Business Association 8A participants. We've been a part of that program since 2018, and as I mentioned, we were founded in 2007. So a little bit of just kind of an idea. This is what we kind of call our NASCAR slide, give you an idea of some of the clients we've worked with. Some of these you'll recognize, some of those you may never have heard of. We like to be, it's in our name, Project Made Easy. We like to be easy to work with. We like to make project easy for you, but we also like to make the solution just easy to work with as a company. So we've got some, Fortune 500 customers here, and we've also got some folks maybe that are smaller, mid-size. We also like to work with just small teams. So maybe it's a small department or a team inside a department at some of these larger clients. And our motto is slow but steady wins the race. So start small, kind of grow into the solution, and as you start kind of knocking into your elbows into the walls that are the capabilities of what we've initially deployed for you, let's talk about maybe adding some capability there rather than overwhelming everybody and then kind of not getting the value out of it you saw it. You saw in the initial vision. So let's talk about a solution. What I want to do here is I want to sort of lay the groundwork for what we're going to look at today, and give you a sense of kind of why we think this is important using Project and Excel, and give you an idea of vision for how they work together and how they can work together. And we're going to bring in the entire Microsoft suite here as well. So this is Microsoft's vision. Now note that it's the vision for work management. We don't really talk about project management in this slide. We do talk about project, but this is Microsoft has been seeing things, especially with the advent of the cloud and moving their solutions to the cloud, Office in 2013 and then Project in 2016. Being in the cloud really affords you some opportunity that maybe it was hard to execute on during the days of where clients were typically using on-premises solutions. So Microsoft's modern work management vision is that teams work the way they want and executives get the results they need. So what that kind of means in a nutshell is the teams are working in a tool that really helps them deliver the value they want to deliver, but it also is it's giving data to the executive team and leadership so they can make decisions and execute on those decisions and deliver results. Oftentimes those are two separate actions and they're two separate solutions. So Microsoft Project, how it fits in there is it empowers companies to achieve better results by one, aligning investments with projects and resources. So kind of gaining, is this what we need to be doing? Choosing the right projects to kind of what we have in our wheelhouse from a resource standpoint, or going out and getting those. So aligning investments with project and resources, and then working with agility and flexibility, so speed and being flexible, and then collaborating globally using intuitive, consistent tools in the Microsoft Cloud Platform. So we're hoping you'll see that today during our demonstration, but that's the vision. So the idea is you're in the Microsoft platform, you're using tools that are flexible for you, they allow you to adapt, but they actually help you do your job better, and allow you to execute and deliver those results. So what is work management? What are we talking about there? And what are some of the problems and potential solutions and outcomes we see around work management? We're going to focus on two of these, but I'll cover all five of them here. One is being transparent. One of the problems is work's happening everywhere all the time, and we end up losing track. There's a lot of work happening in disparate systems. So you could have work happening in this tool over here, really cool tool. And then there's another patch of work happening over here in this other tool, or it could not be in a tool. It could just be in notes. It could be in a chat. It could be in email, a presentation that was done, a meeting that was had. While that data is in each of those systems is structured, effectively it's unstructured. So the question is, how do you get the big picture and you capture all work from tasks to portfolios across multiple services or multiple solutions? And the idea is if you've got the big picture, you can make better decisions. Versatility. So is your tool versatile? Is modern work versatile in your organization? Our teams choose their own tools. They want to work the way they want. And you probably are experiencing that in your environment. I know when we talk to clients, we used to be surprised. We are no longer surprised to find out they have 2 or 3 different project management solutions, because for marketing, this tool is a little better for us. Engineering, this one works a little bit better for us. IT, we kind of like this one. And a lot of times, CIOs are trying to figure out, how do I manage that, and how do they want to be able to deliver value and resources to their teams, but they also realize they're going to have to manage all those tools. So And then how do you collaborate? So that, how do you collaborate in product with flexible methodologies and familiar Microsoft tools? So is your tool flexible enough to meet the methodologies? That's what's driving it. It's, hey, the way we do things is a little different. And so that tool doesn't work for us. So how can we provide flexible tools and solutions to get to accommodate that inside the Microsoft stack, with the outcome being getting more done? And then intuitive. What we're finding is, and you'll see another slide here, project management is often becoming a collateral duty, what I'd call. Or it's their casual project managers. Hey, welcome to the team, Sarah. You're the new business analyst. Great. By the way, you're managing these 2 projects, and I'll help you later sign up for your dental plan. I mean, right out of the gate, you're a project manager, but you may be part-time, or it's casual, or I'm managing a project. It's not an official project. It's not in the portfolio, but this is really important. I need to manage with some level of governance and things. So how can we create solutions that help you start fast with simple interfaces, modern web experiences? You just deliver quicker and you get value quicker. Like, oh, this is great. I know what we're doing here. I often use the example of those apps you download to your mobile phone, whether you're a Google person or an iPhone person, where you just kind of look at a screen here in the App Store and you go, oh, I think I know what this does. Yeah, I'll get that one. And you download it and like, oh yeah, perfect. A few thumb clicks here and there, and you're getting value out of the solution. So how can we provide tools that do that? Integrated. Our business processes cut across functions and systems. So the solution is we need to be able to run our end-to-end business processes on a single platform, but be able to run the business your way. So single platform, but being flexible enough, but also being integrated. And that goes back to that story. Teams working the way they want, executives make the decisions they need. Compliant. So is it secure? Is there a single supply security or platform issue that can disrupt your business? So a lot of these great tools where you've got folks working on their own tools. I've run across clients that are running on freeware. Oh, this is available for free. I just unsubscribe, resubscribe, or I bought it cheap on the web through my own credit card. Even my own, the work was important. I might have spent my own money, or went to my boss later to get acceptance of it. A lot of times there's some security things to be considered there with those solutions. So the solution is, hey, how can we focus on business, not technology, with highly compliant, secure, scalable platform? And so that allows you as an organization to innovate with confidence. And I think Microsoft just sets the standard in this space as well. So let's carve out, if you will, a little bit more of, okay, what does that mean for what we're going to talk about, modern work management, especially around projects? So what we found is, as the complexity of what individuals or teams are working on increases, your organization or you as an individual are going to need tools that have more capabilities. And so you can see Microsoft does a great job of just providing you tons of tools to be able to facilitate that. So on the left here, the left of that dotted line you see there, and I'll explain that in a minute, you've got things like tasks in Microsoft Teams. You can manage all your personal tasks, like, hey, send PowerPoint to Sarah about the new draft scope for this project. Pick up dry cleaning on the way home. To do, so you can manage small tasks in a small group. You can share that with a list of colleagues. Maybe it's not an official project, but we're kind of getting there. And then you've got Planner that's associated with unstructured work and tasks within a team. But Planner begins to give you some of those capabilities, tracking documents, checklists, color coding, allowing you to do things. All those things are included in your organization's Office 365 licensing. So you've got that. And Microsoft does a great job in innovating that. They're just going to, I can remember when Planner was just sort of pushed out, and the big announcement, and they just started making it available. So the idea of having to upgrade to get these things goes away, and now the tool is updated on your behalf because you have a subscription. Now, when we get into more formal project, we have a lot of things we can go do. I'll start at the far end there, Dynamics Project Operation. That's really for firms kind of like ourselves, professional service organizations. We're invoicing project-based revenue, and we need to be able to do that. So we'll have things like resourcing, cost, and financials integrated with that. We're not going to speak on that today. Coming down, in another direction, Project Online, that's Microsoft's traditional project management solution, enterprise project management solution that incorporates Project Desktop. We will talk about Project Desktop today, but it also incorporates a collaborative space in the cloud that allows project teams to collaborate, build out anywhere from easy to complex projects and complex governance models, processes, but it's scalable. So you can do something super simple, and then you can go to super complex, and you get portfolio management, project management, and resource management there. And then we've got Project for the Web, kind of the new kid on the block. I've been around for about 2 years now. And that really is how you can manage your business project with low complexity. And it's best for non-traditional or occasional project managers. And it has a lot of the interface you're going to see. You're going to get that structure. You're going to get additional capabilities, moderate complexity. And then what we find is, and you'll see this in our demo today, is we can actually leverage the Microsoft Power Platform to extend that capability and really deliver things kind of more up the complexity capability line to really enhance that, but give you that intuitive user interface. So let's talk about Project. What's the benefit of Project? It allows you to stay focused and in charge, tackle anything from small to large initiatives. As I mentioned earlier, there's a changing landscape out there. A lot of organization project management has become a collateral duty. It's like, well, you do this and then you're managing a few projects. Easy to start, simple to use. You'll see the intuitive UI and user experience. It allows you to get value very quickly. Form and function provides the right amount of governance without compromising usability. I think many of you have probably seen you've got a tool that's got tons of governance, and at some point it's just boy, I don't know if I can use this. We're really locked down here. Creative solutions. So the fact that you can use the Power Platform allows you to really be creative on how to leverage project with the Power Platform. You can kind of close that last mile, or even if you want, close that last 300 to 500 feet, to continue with the analogy, to really deliver, hey, this is how we do it. So you don't have to leave a platform, get a brand new thing. You can use Power Apps to facilitate that. So Project works with that. Enable collaboration. You'll see that with Teams and Office 365. And all of this is sitting under the protective umbrella of what is the Microsoft Trusted Cloud. They're the state-of-the-art Microsoft security model. Let's talk about Excel, though. So this is really meant to get folks who love Excel to consider Project, and consider project users to, hey, don't give up on Excel. So why are people interested in Excel? I think one of them is a lot of people use Excel. Excel is everywhere. It is the de facto worksheet, spreadsheet software out there. So I've got a quote here. I haven't actually heard that quote, but basically I know what people are thinking. I've thought that. Yeah, Project does some cool stuff, but hey, I can make Excel do pretty much anything. So here are some things we see. Hey, my process, my solution. A lot of times people have unique processes, and we will be able to accommodate a tool. Changing them to accommodate a tool is not always good, i.e. the processes. So I know what Excel does. I don't have to change my process, and you really haven't seen what I've done with this workbook I've got here. I've seen some pretty sophisticated conditional formatting and that type of stuff. Easy to start, easy to use. So as a great general once said, a good solution applied with vigor now is better than a perfect solution applied 10 minutes later. That's Excel. It gets the job done. Yeah, it doesn't do scheduling, but you know what? Everybody knows Excel. I know what it does, and I know what it doesn't do. No more swivel chair solutions. We don't have to be in one tool then work in another. Everyone knows Excel. Why change? It's that ubiquitous. Everybody's got it. So I'm not really in any different tool. Organic growth. So you can deploy when you're ready, not the other way around. Hey, I'll get the project when I'm ready and I have the time. Frankly, what ends up happening is a lot of folks don't have the time. They're just busy working. So the cutover is real difficult. Empower your creative side. So we kind of mentioned that with Power Platform, but hey, I'm a master at conditional formatting, VLOOKUPs, and macros. So I've done some pretty creative things here in this spreadsheet. Take a look. And hey, Excel's in our Microsoft Cloud. So why would I deviate from that? Well, let's take a look and see why we do that. So this is what we're going to go through today. So I'm going to start in Project for Web. I'm going to show you how you can use the project you're managing in Excel and bring that into Project for the Web, and then collaborate with that in Teams. I'll show you different upload options and export options. Then we'll actually I'll show you collaboration. Then we'll cut over to project, what's known as the Project Power App, also referred to as the Accelerator. You'll see in some blogs out there. And I'll show you uploading a project list into the Accelerator. I'll show you exporting a list into Excel from the Accelerator. I'll show you a project upload into the Accelerator, and then collaboration and reporting as well in that environment as we go. So let's see, we're about 20 minutes in. Let's go ahead and jump over to our first demo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here in Project. So I'm in Project. I've just opened Project, and I'm open the desktop client. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring this in from Excel. So let's take a look at that Excel real quick. This is the Excel spreadsheet. I did something really simple just for the sake of making the demo be quick and a quick turnaround. I certainly understand there may be more complexities for your projects, but this is just to kind of show you the capability. So we've got a project here. It's called the Apollo project. We're going to select the tool, the crew. We're going to design the command module, the lunar module, the service module. We're going to build the rocket stages. We're going to get these guys in cool looking space suits and cool aviator shades. And as you know, if you've watched any space movies, at least for the historical space, everybody's got to have a Corvette. We got to get these guys a Corvette. Then we'll launch the rocket. So those are our tasks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use this Excel. So I'm managing this Excel, but I want to use Project. So I'm going to close this, and I'm just going to go over here and click on New from Project. And I'm going to go in here and grab my file over here. And right now it's defaulting to XML. And I'll go over here. And so here it is. I'm going to grab this Apollo project upload. That's the file I just had open. And I'm going to open it. And so it's going to walk me through a wizard here and just kind of ask me a few questions. It's a new map. This is a new project. And I'm going to bring in the task. It's going to ask me a question about, what's the worksheet name? I'm going to call it project here. I'm going to make sure, remember we just had basically the name of the task. I want to make sure this lands to start. That's a default field in project. And I'm going to make this go to finish. And that looks good. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit finish. And this thing's going to spin up, and boom, there is my project. So there's the Apollo project Excel upload project. That's exactly what I had. There are our tasks. You can see they're staggered. I don't have any dependencies in here, but that is our project. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to say File, Save As, and I'm actually going to save that over here into this file here. And we're going to do that real quick. And I'm going to call this, I'm just going to put today's date on the end for the demo. And 510, we'll save that. And there we go. Okay, so we've saved that, and we should have that available to us. And that should rechange the name. And there we go. So we've uploaded. Let's review what we did. We had an Excel worksheet where we're managing a project in. And we decided, hey, let's move it over to Project. So we're in Project Desktop. We could use this right now and begin to build out our predecessors, our resource names, that type of thing. But I want to go one step beyond and actually bring it in and collaborate around it in teams. And the best way to do that is through Project for the Web. So let's jump over to Project for the Web. And so I'm in Project for the Web. Now, the way I got here was I logged into Office 365. I went to my app launcher, and I just jumped to Project. And that brings me here. And what you're looking at is, this is known as Project Home. This is an individual user interface that is my space. So I can customize it to work the way I want. I can go in here and add this to favorites. I can take this one off the favorites. So I can just remove it and drop that out. And it'll just take my last 8 or so projects and have them up here. So I've been interacting with this. So I want to create a new project. Now, what I'm going to do is I can go in here and just create a blank project. I can use one of the templates that Microsoft rolled out. this solution is iterating very rapidly. So I can remember doing a demo probably 2 months ago, and the previous time I'd been in this solution, these weren't available. I'd read an update in a blog post that Microsoft's putting them out, and like, oh, here they are. Great. Let's take a look at it. So Microsoft is rapidly iterating these as we go. So let's go ahead and import a project here. I'm going to do that now. All right, so there is our project in the demo space. I'm going to grab that. That is an MPP file, and I'm going to open it. And that's going to bring it in. So I'm going to get a notice here. So while that's happening, let's pause here. It looks like we got a couple questions. So let me jump over to the chat and see what we've got. All right, let's see. Yeah, so there was a question about project. Okay, when I said structured and unstructured, I really meant structured and unstructured data. Basically, just kind of the idea that if we've got things in multiple different solutions, we're going to end up having it's effectively unstructured. And so what that means for you as a project manager, if you've got to do that readout to help the executives make decisions you need, you're going to have to stop down for 2 to 3 days and find all that data, aggregate it, and then you're going to have to format it in something that's consumable. So that's really what that refers to. Okay, very good. And I will make this this recording available. So what happened here is a couple things. Remember, my project had manual tasks. That's a feature in Microsoft Project that is not supported in Project for the Web. And so it said, hey, you had 10 manual tasks. I'm going to make those automatic. Another thing that isn't supported, it's supported but differently, is resources. If I had assigned resources to those projects tasks, those would have been removed. Those would have been removed, and you would have seen a notice there. But I'll show you how to do those assignments. So here we are. We are in the Apollo product. Remember, we started in Excel, and so let's do a couple things here. One of the things I want to do is I want to add that start and finish date. So let's go ahead and do that. There's the start date. There's the finish date, and I'm going to just give you a quick tour of. Let's do finish. And let's move the bucket over there. There we go. Start and finish. I've got my collaboration. And so I've seen some folks are having trouble with the Teams update. Sometimes it's helpful to leave and then rejoin. That might help that out. So we've got a few things here. We'll talk about what's a bucket, Scott. Well, we'll let you know here in a second. So one of the things we got to do is we got to assign some folks this. So this is my project. I'm going to obviously assign myself to this, and I definitely want to go check out. I want to be in charge of the sunglasses because I'm going to get a pair myself. But I'm going to start building a team, and I'm going to get a hold of Jen on our team, and I'm going to hit return, and there she is. This is looking through our Active Directory. I'm going to select Jen, and it pops up with this, and it says, I can just assign her. That means I haven't shared it to anybody. I'm just going to assign this. And I could do that if I want, but I'm going to add it to a group. And the reason I want to add it to a group is I want to collaborate around it. Now, here's what to consider. If you want to collaborate it, it is key that the group you affiliate with this project is the same group that the team you're going to bring this into is affiliated with. If it's different, they will not see each other and you won't be able to bring it in. So I could create this group, but I'll need to make note of this group and then make sure I create a team around that. In the interest of time, I'm not going to do that. I already have a team set up, and I would encourage you, if you're interested in doing this, start in teams and then leverage this. It's just easier for you because you know the team group you're a part of. So hopefully that makes sense, just so you don't end up chasing your tail trying to trying to find that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, let's just add to a group, an existing group. So that's what I'm doing. And these are all of my groups. So it's combing through my Active Directory. It's looking through all my groups. I'm going to do a little morning show cooking segment thing here and grab a group I already know has people in it. Notice up here to the right, there's no group members. When I select that, you're going to see the number of group members show up. So watch that. It's going to kind of do a little motion here, and there you go. Here's my group number. These are all the people in the Contoso public group. So what does that mean? Well, what it means is I can now assign a lot of people just with a drag and drop. I can assign Drew. I can assign Gaurav. I'm going to assign Jennifer here. And if you're interested in a longer form demonstration of Project for Web, happy to do that offline. We'll just show a few things here. Drew wants to be a part of that. And I can assign 2 people to one project too. So you can see that I do that. So I've got my assignments there. I've got this grid view here. What are some other things I can do about this? This solution is very Excel-like. It's incredibly easy to update and change things. So I'm going to actually add, I'm going to add a task name. I'm going to type explore and hit return. I'm going to type orbit and hit return. And then I'm going to type splashdown. And I'm literally typing as if I am in an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to decide the duration of these. This is defaulted to days. If I wanted to, I can make it weeks by just typing 5W, much like project. But I'm just going to hit the number 3, 5, or 6, and 7. And I'm just literally hitting the number 3, 6, and 7 and hitting duration, and I'm done. I can now go and add resources to these tasks as I need to. So that's what's called the grid view. That is made for Excel users. If you like Excel, you'll love the grid view. Let's go to the board. If I go into the board, I've got a few buckets I've already created here. One thing I can do, it's very much like Planner, is I can color code these. I can have a next up, in progress, and done. And then what I can do is I can literally drag and drop things over. Now this is a little confusing. This isn't really, obviously that's not in progress, but maybe we're fitting the spacesuits. And I think we've already selected the crew. We've got them, and I think we're shopping for sunglasses. I believe that's what we're in progress on. I can also go to another filter over here to the right that actually is called in progress. It's just going to be not started, progress, complete. And so you could say, well, I've completed that. Immediately goes to 100%. In this view, it iterates by 50%. We could say that we obviously haven't splashed down yet. We haven't done anything, but maybe we're doing the design on these 2 modules, and we've done things over here in the shade selection. So we've done that, and we're working toward that. These all iterate. If I wanted to, let's say, for instance, I've got this module design here. I could click into the details of that. I could use an up arrow, makes that iterate by 25. I literally could type a number in, 17, and boom. It'll just save that as 17. It'll move it over to in progress, and there it is at 17. So very easy to manage that as well. Let's go back over here to the grid view. We had a question. I wanted to show that. One of the things I can do is I can add a task called, let's say for the sake of this, we're going to make this I can actually make this a subtask by going to this ellipsis. You see here, we saw that question there. I can make that a subtask. It just indents it and immediately makes a subtask. Note what happened. It assumes that the phase above it is now a phase, and it removes the resource. I'll do the same here, and I make that a subtask, and it immediately makes that a subtask to the thing. That's the default design. And that updates everything. So it'll update everything. So service module design will go away on our board because it is now a phase. We'll go to the timeline view. This is the tradition. So this is more of an agile look and feel. Let's go to the timeline view. Now this is your traditional project management view. You can see what happened when I made the stage 1, stage 1B subtask. It assumed service module design was the master task. And now what I can do is I can actually set up dependencies. I can set up finish to start dependency using this graphical interface. It's beautiful. This is a very simple UI UX. Note that these didn't move because I've already started work on these. These are already in progress. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tie these together. And I'm going to tie this one together. And note they move. Now, what this is assuming, it's assuming a work week of Monday through Friday, 8-hour days. That's the default calendar. More advanced calendars are coming. We'll look over here at Explore. We'll add that one in. And I'm going to add this one in as well. So you get the idea. I can quickly drag and drop and create a dependency. And something to note is in our grid view, if I add the column, depends on, look at that, automatically updates. So everything is seamless. You don't have to hop to different views. So this is what's beautiful about this. A lot of times folks are having to hop from tool A to tool B to facilitate that. It's just happening. It's just happening. The other thing I can do is if I want to, I can add a document. And I could add a checklist too. I can add a checklist item. So if I want to click here and add checklist item, and I'll say item 1, and I'll call this item 2, and I can keep track of that. In the quick look, which is a default column, you see that it tells you have a checklist. Let's say I checked one off. It'll update that instantly. I can also add a attachment. So I'll go in here and add an attachment from my computer. And let's go over here and add the Fluid PPM 1-pager. And I'll add that in. And note what happens is I should get, boom, I get a little paperclip, tells me I've got an attachment there. So very cool. So we've added that. We've added this into from Excel into Project Desktop, and then what we do, we built a new project from scratch using the desktop. It got us started really fast, much faster than building this out from scratch. So if you're an Excel user and you like that, start in Excel, but eventually you're going to get beyond the bounds of the value and bring the scheduling engine into play here. So we talked about wanting to be able to leverage Teams for this. So let's look at Teams over here. So remember, I assigned this to the Contoso group. Now, as you guessed, I did a little home cooking, pre-cooking, just to make things flow. So let's go over to Teams. So now I am in Teams and I'm in the Contoso team. You can see I've already got enough project in there just in case things go south, which are, you never know. I might have a thunderstorm here in the great state of Texas. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in project and I want to collaborate with this in team. The beauty of this is you get to collaborate at a project, you get to collaborate at a task level. And I'll actually show that to you here shortly. So let's go over here and I'm going to add a channel. And you can see here, Microsoft bubbles up these apps that are available for you. If you can't find it, you can just search for it. But I've got project here. I'm going to click on that. And what this is going to do, it's going to comb through every project that is affiliated with the same team that we've assigned to this team. And you can see our demo project is the first one. And then when I click in, I'm going to hit save. And it's going to bring that over. And immediately, you're going to get a chat over here saying, hey, I added a tab at the top of the channel. Check it out. And now here's our project. So we are in project for the web via Teams. Very interactive, very easy to do things here. Let's say I want to do some interaction here, and I'll jump in here and I could start a conversation. So I'm going to do this and say, hey, are we all getting the same color or no? How much of a team are we here with respect to this? So note, I've got the task associated with it. Note what happened. right there in quick look. Quick look gave me a little bubble. It says there's a conversation going on there. So yes, and I added the channel under the team called Contoso. So that's where that channel comes from. Or the tab, I guess I should say. I'm trying mixing up my terminology there. So that's where I've added it. So note it's there. Now, if I go back, let's shrink the view here, and I go over here and look, and I can see post. Note that the team channel will have all the posts, and note what happens when I go in here and I click on purchase Corvettes. It's going to open up the project, and it's going to automatically open up the detail page so you can see what we're talking about. So there you have it. Shows you the task. It shows you the task conversation, and that should also be available in project as well. Another thing I can do is I can add an attachment here. We've already done it once. Let's do it again. Let's add the support made easy. I'll do that. I've added that, and I'll close out there. And you can see I've got the paperclip showed up again. So I've got another paperclip showing up that we've added that. And note over here in my files, when I brought this in, I've got the support made easy one pager associated with that. So that is using Excel with Project for the Web. So now let's jump over to, but before we do that, let's pause and see if we got any other questions there that folks might have. Yes, you have to have the app. You saw the app in Teams, and you have to have a license assigned to you. If you're licensed for Project Professional, you get Project for the Web. Project for the Web is a different license. It's significantly cheaper as well. The other thing about upload is a lot of times Microsoft will limit the upload capability to Project Pro, like in the case of Project Online. This works with both Project Standard and Project Pro. It just needs to be an MPP file. Okay, we've got about 18 minutes left. I want to hustle and get through this other stuff. So let's talk about the first thing we want to do is I want to go over to what's called the Microsoft Power App. So I'm going to jump into a different environment. And this is the home dashboard. So Microsoft makes a basic version of this available for free through GitHub. And then they invite partners like us to kind of tweak it up a little bit. So this is our version of it. We've made a few changes here, but to kind of show you kind of what you get, this facilitates, so all that stuff I showed you in Project for Web is great. You can collaborate on individual projects, but it's all about the individual project. And if you noted the collaboration was at the task level, this won't give you this, but it'll give you a holistic view around a portfolio or a program. I can do things like I can have a project request here. I've got a dashboard that gives me the high level things here. And I'll show you a few other things I can see. I can have a program available. And then I can look at my list of projects. So the first thing I want to do is let's say in Excel, I've got a list of projects we're managing my portfolio. Maybe I'm managing my portfolio here, and I want to see how that's working and be able to upload this real quick to just kind of get started with some high-level metadata. I can actually go in here and import. Note, I can always export this to Excel, so you don't have to leave Excel and have a long, tearful goodbye. You can always export this. So real quick, here's the portfolio. I can export that to a static sheet real quick, and boom, it pops up, and this is what you get. I mean, that was super fast, and you just get a quick view of your entire portfolio, and you can do some work around that if you want. So here it is. Very quick, and you can edit that. So if you're wanting to do a little bit more in-depth analysis, you can do that. So you don't have to leave Excel if you're using what's called the Project Accelerator or the Project Power App. What I'm going to do is I'm going to import here, and I'm actually going to import from a CSV because that works really cool. I'm going to go choose my file here, and it's looking for there. I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to say open, and I'm going to hit next. And yep, it's telling me kind of what, if I want to allow duplicates, I'm going to say no, just to kind of make it unique. And I'm going to verify my mapping. I've literally got the same type format, a name, start, and finish. And so what I'm going to do is do that right here. So I've got the finish date. I got the project type. Notice the project type over here, and I've got the start and finish date. So I'm going to finish that import. I'm going to hit confirm. And what this is going to do, so this is using Power Platform, and it's using Power Automate. So in the back is what used to be known as a flow. There's a Power Automate query that's happening. It's going to take about a minute to execute. It's going to bring in those projects. So while we're doing that, let's look at let's take a tour quick here of the Microsoft Accelerator. So you can see I've got a quick dashboard. If you're a project manager, great way to just kind of figure out, hey, what do I got going on? You can see my new requests coming in. You can see all my active program, what the programs by business unit program. You can see my program health. This is real helpful. These are all the project requests and the associated project type. You can see I've got a lot of stuff. There's no project type associated. Probably ought to go look at that. This is all using Power Apps, Power Platform. Remember, the big win is here. I can put data not only in the project plan, which you'll see in a minute, but I can also put data in this application, and that allows me to build out these dashboards, and it allows me to build out reports, which is the big win for you as a project manager. And so you can see some other things here. Here's the business unit by cost, and then here's all projects and the count associated with that. I talked about programs. I could easily go in here and click on a program and have it open it. You can see I've got 11 in here. So all I do is I click in here. You'll actually see the individual projects listed, and I can click into those if I want to. And I can even update the status of these right here in this dashboard. I can just update that right there and say it's at risk and make the changes here. Again, all the data is saved. You can now report out on it. And then let's go over to our project. Let's see where we're at and see if we've got an update here. And boom, there we are. So these are the projects that I just brought in from that Excel spreadsheet. You could use Excel. I used the CSV here. And I brought in, remember, the project name, and I brought in the project type, and I brought in a start and a finish date. Now, that's all cool. Hey, what about the task, though? It'd be nice to be able to bring in the task. Well, as you see here, I do have a place for tasks. Unfortunately, there are no tasks. They didn't bring in tasks, but I can do that. So it's going to launch that. You've seen that icon before. It's going to launch project in here and show you the task when you see it's brand new. Now, if I want, I can use the Excel-like features and build that out on the fly. But I love Excel, and I'm kind of lazy personally. Just sharing that with you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here, and if you note, remember I said Microsoft makes a free version of this available, but they also allow us to kind of modify it. So what we've done is we have created this little app here, and what this is going to do is allow me to import from Excel. So when I go in here and I hit import, I am going to click this Apollo Project Task Template. That is an Excel file. I'm going to open it. It's going to roll up there, and it immediately starts uploading. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit save and let that, again, there's a flow running. Flows can run instantaneously, depending on the complexity of them, or you might want to have them scheduled, because a lot of times people want instantaneous things to happen. That could bog down. We got a lot of folks doing it. So depending on what you're trying to do with a flow or a Power Automate, we may schedule it, or we may have it delay and kind of aggregate and move forward there. Some things to look at while we're here. We talked about the export of project into Excel. We talked about how we have the project. You can build out a business case here. So we talked about doing the right projects. So Apollo 15. This has extreme alignment to our vision. We've got hey, this should improve employee retention. At least I hope it will. And then we can go in here and actually build out, what is our, well, this is going to be very expensive, so it has no impact on lowering cost. We are not lowering costs. We are going to, we're going to make that a low score or no score. Likelihood of success, I'm going to say moderate. At the time they did this project, they'd already done a 2 or 3. But let's just say moderate to be realistic. Description, we're going to do this. You get bonus points if you can tell me who made these statements. Just let me know in the chat. And the business case is this. We choose to go to the moon in this case and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. That might be a short hint. So we've built out this, and we've got an idea of what's going on. We can build out some financials here. We could put our budget in. But let's go over to task. I believe the flow should have run, and boom, there it is. And now we can do the exact same thing that we did with Project for the Web right here. We've got access to Project for the Web, and we can do that. Also note that you don't have to say goodbye to Excel. If you want to export this project to Excel, you can do that, and it'll give you the project details associated with it. It's a quick export. You just click on it, and it's preparing it, and boom, it exports it. And here's the Apollo 15 project, and you get a similar thing. And remember, this is aggregating all that project data that you're using in the scheduling engine. So look at this. It's already got duration in here. It's got some start dates, percent complete. It's going to give you the bucket. You can do pivots here. A lot of great capability by going back to Excel. We fully recognize that you might want to do that. The last thing I'll show you, the benefit of using the Power App is, remember, all this data, both data in project and data surrounding it, things like issues and risk. I don't have any here because we just started, but we got other projects in here, is the reporting. We now get to use Power BI to report out on our entire portfolio or our individual projects. So here is our portfolio health, and we can look at this by program if we want. I can quickly filter it by program. I can go back to all of them. I can do it by project manager. I could do it by portfolio. Let's go in here and see how Gaurav's doing. He's got 3, 4 he's managing. Looks like he's got some issues here. Probably to talk to Gaurav and see how we can help him be successful. So you've got all this. Remember, I talked about those subjective things like issues and risk. We can add scoring on those. We can look at the impact, the risk, the probability, the exposure, the cost. We can aggregate all that, and we can look at that across the portfolio. If we wanted to, we could actually select one project and get a view of what that looks. And this is for a project manager. You can have this whole thing available, and then you can just pull up your individual project if you wanted to see that. You can also go to a historical status. And here we've got this by project, which really makes more sense around project. Like, hey, how's the Bay Plaza project doing? This is your dashboard. So if you can imagine, the vision is, going back to that vision slide for modern work, if I'm living and breathing in here, I'm doing my updates is a normal course, I'm no longer having to do the old, when's the steering committee review? Oh, it's next Tuesday. Okay, well, I'm blocking my calendar for tomorrow and Friday, so I can go find all that. While I said it was unstructured, structured inside a particular solution, that data, it's effectively unstructured if it's in multiple solutions for you, the project manager. I'm going to have to do that. I don't have to do that. I just need to make sure everybody's up to date. Maybe send a note out on a Wednesday afternoon, and then check it on Thursday, Friday, and I'm good to go. And this would be what I would show. If I wanted to, I could create a PowerPoint. You know what else you could do? Let's say you want to do a little bit more in-depth analysis because you know your manager or your leader is a little different. You know what I can do? I can do this. I can go in here and go right here, and guess what? I can export the data back to Excel. So that is a lot to cover. I'll quickly show you this in Teams. We can always embed this in Teams. We've got the same accelerator running in Teams right here, and you will see it here shortly as soon as this spins up. I swear I had these all spun up and running before everybody joined, but it kind of time out on me. So here is the accelerator. Here's the home page, and I'll expand that, and it's right there. I can go right to the projects and see those, and I can literally click into here. Now, this is the one thing to note, and just to be upfront with you, you're going to get project level collaboration. If you're a portfolio manager, you get the whole portfolio. You're not going to get that task level collaboration unless you're actually in Project Online proper. Okay, very good. So I'm going to pause here for questions and check the chat real quick. You do that, see where we're at. Okay, so question came out, do all team members get to change the product? Yes. in Project for the Web, when you invite a team member, a resource, you saw where I was adding Jen and Drew and Debbie and Gaurav to individual tasks. They actually see the whole project. So they can edit everything because it's using Microsoft Groups. If you're familiar with the more enterprise tool, Project Online, it's by permission, by project. A little bit different story there. And then the dashboard, does it update? No, the dashboard is coming from the source data. You need to update the source data to get your dashboard to update. Okay, let's jump back into our presentation. So let's review what we saw. We saw Excel. We used Excel to bring a project list in to the Project Power App. I showed you multiple places where you can always export back to Excel. We then used Excel, and we didn't have to go through Project. You could always use Project to import a project. So I could have used that same MPP file I used to create a project for the web project. I could have used that in the Project Power App. I chose to just use Excel to kind of show you what our team has done, where you can use an Excel spreadsheet to upload the project details, i.e. the task, and get started that way. I showed you how we can collaborate in teams there. And the big win for the Power App is one, you can customize it to meet your needs. You saw that, and you get the reporting piece. Okay, I'm going to quickly run through this. Couple highlights. We saw project initiation from Excel, both in the desktop application. We moved that into Project for the Web, and then we showed you our little app where we imported it from Excel in the Project Power App. Remember, if you love Excel, even if you don't love Excel, go into Project Web, trial it. You can go out to trial it. I've got links for you. This grid view is very Excel-like. I mean, it's made for Excel users, and it's just super simple with that iteration of building out a project and creating a project. Very easy to go do. Remember, the win is you get all that data in the Project Power App. You can build out cool reports. You can build out cool dashboards. And then remember, hey, this isn't a long goodbye. I keep thinking of that Elton John song. I don't know what that one is, but you don't have to say goodbye to Excel. It makes sense to go into Excel. A lot of folks using very heavy lift and very expensive BI tools, not known as Power BI, will still grab the data and pull it into Excel and do their machinations with it. You can do that. You can still do that. It's not the long goodbye to Excel. Remember, you get enterprise grade performance inside the Power Platform and Project Online and Project for the Web. All that's guaranteed by the 99% uptime that you're familiar with inside of inside of Office 365. You can allow your colleagues to collaborate with you with the right license. If you just want to update percent complete, someone asked that question. If they've got Office 365, they can update percent complete on a Project for the Web project that's available. And then you get the secure project access through the right people using Microsoft Groups. So that makes the building out that plan a little bit more simplistic and a little easier to do. I'll skip the summary. We're running out of time. Any final questions, please put them in the chat. I'm going to be, just so you know, if we didn't get to it, we bit off quite a bit here to demonstrate. And I thought, actually, I didn't have enough, but maybe I did. But if you've got a question, please reach out to us. We'll send you an email that'll have this PowerPoint deck. It'll have a recording of the demonstration and the webcast. It'll probably link us to our YouTube channel. Please go to Microsoft Project, and you'll get great information on the project roadmap. Hey, what are the new things Microsoft's bringing out? You got access on how to try Project for free for a while, and then just support and learning. You'll learn about the Project Power App and other items there. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up, and thank you again. And you have a great rest of your week. And remember, Project in Excel will turbocharge your project management. Y'all take care, and we'll talk again soon.